Hi, I'm Nick. This is talking about some of the challenges and difficulties filming in the construction industry. It's a big sector. It's also quite a difficult environment to work in. There's an awful lot of noise, there's an awful lot of dirt, and there's an awful lot going on. And safety is one of the main priorities. In fact, I guess safety is the most important priority when working on a building site. You've got to be aware of where vehicles are going, what people are doing. There's lots of heavy items. The floor is generally quite difficult to walk on, and it's really important that as a filmmaker you don't get in the way. So in essence what we're looking to do is to coordinate what we're doing with the site manager, with everybody on site, to make sure and enhances the image of the business we're working with. Secondly, site safety and compliance. We want to make sure that we're presenting the right image and that everyone is safe and that we are doing nothing that would in any way affect that. We're just there to be supporting what's going on and to capture the action. And we make sure everybody comes over as well as possible. There are a couple of things with that are really worth mentioning. One, it's very important that site managers are well aware that you're going to be filming and that everybody is dressed absolutely correctly, because if there are slip-ups on someone not wearing quite the right safety gear, and that gets picked up on film, that can be disastrous. You don't want that to happen. It's very important everybody understands the camera crew are there and that they really do need to be on their best behaviour, as it were. The other thing that's really quite important to make sure is that when you're working on a site, unless you own it yourself, it's very important that the owner has given written permission, and usually from their legal department. It's not enough to have managers above you or your customer, subcontractor, main contractor, any of those people given permission. It really needs to cover interested party and to come from their legal departments. Otherwise you run the risk of shooting footage that is then challenged and you're not allowed to use it. It's something to be very, very aware of and very careful of. So it's very important to build relationships with, if necessary, architects, definitely site managers, but everybody who's involved, to make sure everyone is aware of what is happening. And that way you end up with a really good shoot where everybody's supportive, helpful, and you're able to capture exactly what you're looking for and present the business at its absolute best. We're obviously trying to interview people, we're trying to talk to various people while they're working and to capture what they're doing. And it's important that we capture the footage, but at the same time we don't put anybody to any risk. We tend to use wired mics on site rather than going for radio. It seems safer. We don't want to get interference in a really important audio take, so we tend to use interview mics for that are wired into the camera direct or into the recorder direct, and that works well for us. It's also important to be aware that when you're filming you don't want to be in a position that obstructs other people. We're often shooting confined space. We want to make sure we're not in anybody's way. It's absolutely vital that we can move quickly if we need to. We tend to use quite compact camera systems if shooting on a site. We're always mindful of the constructions workers. They're busy, they're working to quite tight deadlines, and it's very important that we don't get in the way. At the same time, they've always been incredibly helpful and supportive of what we're doing, and they've given us really good opportunities to get the footage we need, and for that we're very grateful. Little things that need to be taken into consideration if you're using tripods and heavy equipment. There are limits on scaffolding and things like that. You do need to be aware of what you're doing. You also need to be aware of dust getting into your lenses. So it's very important to use equipment that's well protected and you're able to shoot in all weathers. We're equipped to do that, but it's something we've learned the hard way. Dust getting into nick-on bodies and causing enormous problems in a hot summer. It's important you factor all these factors in. Getting access, making sure that you film from a safe location, that you take into consideration everybody else, and that everybody knows you're there and what your purpose is. It's crucial to making sure the job goes according to plan. But when it does, it's absolutely superb.